Hey everybody, this is today's makeup tutorial. It is a gold eye makeup look, and stick around if you want to see how to do it. Hey all you beautiful people, it's Courtney. Welcome back to my channel, and let's get started. We are going to start with Garnier Skin Active Moisture Balm, and I'm just going to apply that all over my face and rub it in before I apply my primer. For primer, we are using the Maybelline Baby Skin Primer. It helps a lot with pores, which I have a lot of, so it comes in handy. Again, just applying that all over the face, basically just like the moisturizer. Going into foundation, I use the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Foundation. I'm the lightest shade, obviously, I'm a very pale person. I am using the Real Techniques Beauty Blender to apply my foundation. One of my favorite beauty blenders. It definitely is good for the price, and it just does a great job of blending. So as you can see, just blending that in everywhere so that I have an even coat. Even adding a little bit to my neck so that there's no foundation line. Up next, going on with concealer, I use the Maybelline Master Conceal in the shade Fair. Again, the lightest shade. Just applying that under my eye and blending it out. I also apply it to my chin, my nose, and my forehead. Also my eyelids to help my eyeshadow stay. Going in with powder, I am using the NYC Smooth Skin Loose Face Powder in the shade Translucent, and I'm going to be using my Beauty Blender again, top part, to bake my face. To bake your face, you want to apply a really thick layer of powder. You want to be able to see a layer of powder on your face, so you're going to look pretty crazy for a while, but apply it basically everywhere that you put your concealer. I'm also applying it under where my contour line is going to be, just to add a little bit more definition. Now, going into contouring, I am using the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette, and I'm just using a normal contouring brush. You can use any contouring brush. So we are just going to go in between the two lines that we baked, and basically just under your cheekbones. And just going to blend that out so that it is a nice blended line and you can't see any harsh lines. Also going in my forehead a little bit, leaving the middle open, and then a little bit on the sides of my nose just to define it a little bit more. Also adding a little bit to my neck with a big fluffy brush just to make it all the same color. Going in with brows, I'm using the Too Faced Natural Eye Palette, and I use the shade Sexpresso. And I use a flat brush by Smashbox to apply my eyebrows. And as you can see, I just follow the silhouette of my eyebrow. You want a really light amount of the eyeshadow on your brush so that it doesn't get too dark, because then it starts getting a little crazy. So yeah, just apply a light coat, and you can always apply a little bit more as you go. And that's eyebrows. Up next, we are going to start with eyes. I am starting with the Wet n Wild Color Icon Glitter in the shade Bleached. I'm starting with this kind of as just a base so that my pigment stays on a little bit better. So really just using this as a primer because it's really sticky. As my main coat, we are going to be using the MAC pigment in the shade Melon. Don't ask me why a gold eyeshadow is called Melon. That makes no sense to me, but we are just going to use our finger and apply a ton of this to our eyes. We want a really thick coat of this just to make our eyes pop more. And that's why we put the Wet n Wild glitter on there, because it's really sticky and it helps the MAC pigment stick way better. And yeah. So just going in and doing that. Really nice gold shade, my favorite. Up next, we're using the Naked 3 palette. I'm going to be starting with the shade Nooner, and we are going to be using the brush that actually came with the palette, the bigger side, which is just a normal shadow brush, so you could use any brush if you wanted. And we are taking the concealer case that we had earlier. You can use anything with a straight edge, and we're just going to put it on the line that you would do your eyeliner. Putting that in our crease, we are now going to go in and use a transition color. I am using the same palette, and I use the color Limit, and we're taking a blending brush and just blending out the color Nooner. with the color limit. And again, you want to keep your straight lined object there so that the line just stays there. And just kind of blend out the first shade. Now, I wasn't happy enough with the darkness of it, so I go in again, same palette, using the color Factory, and just a tiny bit to define it a little bit better, and then blend it out again. And that is that. I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye. We are going to go in with the same Nooner color, but we are going to use a eyeliner brush, and we're going to go in on our waterline and just apply some of that color to define it a little better. Then, going in with the Naked palette, we are going to go in with the shade Half Baked, which is the really nice gold color, and we're going to use the same brush and just do the other half of our waterline, so closer to the corner of your eye so that it kind of ombres out from light to dark. Now, using the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow in the shade Iced Latte and using a big fluffy eyeshadow brush, we are just going to highlight the inner corner of our eye using this color to just brighten up our eyes. And then we are also going to use this color as the highlight for our brow bone and the rest of our face. So after doing a lot of your makeup, you will see that your baking has finished, and now we can wipe that off. I'm going to be using this big fluffy kabuki brush by e.l.f. and just little tiny swipes to kind of take the powder away, but also blend it in at the same time. Up next, we're going to do highlight. I use two eyeshadow colors. I use a shimmery white and I use a shimmery champagne, and I mix them together using a fluffy eyeshadow brush. And this turns into my highlight color. So again, just adding it to my cheekbones. Just going to add it to the tip of my nose as well. Also my upper lip line and a little bit more on my brow bone and inner corner. Up next, we are going to go in with eyeliner. I use the L'Oreal Carbon Black liner. And yeah, just wing out your liner. I cannot explain this very well, but as you can see there, I kind of messed up. So I wipe it away and use my Beauty Blender, what was left on it, to kind of fix that up. I'm just going to line my other eye now, and then we will be able to move on to mascara. For mascara, I use the Maybelline Big Shot in Blackest Black. And I'm going to start at the roots and then move the product out so that I can get extreme volume, and then add it to the lower lashes as well. So our eyes are now done, as you can see. For this look, I didn't know what to go with, so I went with the color Dopey by ColourPop, and super pretty color, really pigmented, and it is a matte liquid lipstick, so it definitely stays on all day. And that is the last step of this look. This look is all finished, and yeah, here it is. So subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks guys, bye.